Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively, back on the orange couch of serenity on Monday the 8th of May 2023 with FLOSSTUBE number 176. It's going to be a very casual, random kind of video today because I am quite weary, having sort of only got back from the Dunedin Stitching Retreat an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago. Yeah, so obviously late this week because yesterday was at retreat and then socializing. I have some stitching to show you, some random stuff that I've picked up over the weekend, both from the freebie table, from things that people have lent to me. I didn't really buy anything, really, but just a few things to show. I don't even know what it is really because it's all in a bag and I'm just going to pull stuff out. I do have a couple of FFOs to share from a couple of weeks ago that I gifted to people at retreat. So I did take some video. I haven't even looked at it. It's either great or it's terrible, but I'll pop that in at some stage. But yeah, I will just give you a quick little overview of the weekend. Some of you will recall that I was going to go down Thursday night, stay with my friend Christine, and then, go to retreat from there, come back Monday morning. On Thursday, I had all my bags in at work and I was working basically right up to about 20 to 6 when I was catching the bus to the airport. And at 4:30, dear Christine I saw a message from Christine to say that she had tested positive for the dreaded COVID. And I was in the middle of a really important piece of work to get ready for my deadline on Tuesday, but because I was going to be away Friday and Monday, really I had to get it done on Thursday night. Cut a very long story short, I threw it out to the universe that I needed somewhere to stay on, Thursday night at least, given that I was basically an hour away from heading to the bus to catch it to the train to the airport and then arriving in Dunedin in theory around 9:30ish. And I just didn't have time. Busy weekend in Dunedin, lots of not much accommodation free by that stage because of Otago University open day / weekend, and a rugby game that was on. But basically, threw it out to the universe, and the universe was great within whatever. By the time I got to the airport, I had accommodation. Turned out not just for the night, but for the weekend with the lovely Fiona and her family. And it all just came together. So, and then of course the plane was delayed. So I don't even know what time we got back to Fiona's place in Dunedin, but it was like 10 after 10. So yeah, late night on Thursday, a little bit last minute drama, and I'm really appreciative of the stitching community because I had several offers of couches to sleep on for the night, spare beds and various accommodation, and of course a luxury of a queen size bed in a lovely home with a lovely a new stitchy friend for me. Friday, Jacqueline, who is one of my subscribers, had offered to drive me and Christine around for the day, and so I took her up on that and spent the day with her, and she showed me around the sites, and we went to a museum, and we had lunch in St. Clair and up to Larnach Castle in the cloud. It wasn't the nicest day, so we didn't enjoy the gardens because we were in the cloud and it was raining and windy, but enjoyed Larnach Castle, and went to dinner that night with some of the, I guess, where were they from? Christchurch and Thames folks who arrived that day, or had arrived the night before, and we went out for dinner in St. Clair. Saturday, I went to dinner with Fiona and a few of her and Christine's stitching friends, and then Sunday night, I hung around in the accommodation and had dinner with my Wellington and Christchurch buddies. I think I'm getting that mostly right. Retreat was fun. As retreats go, it was essentially a fancy 2-day stitch get together and stitchy day. Definitely the highlight is meeting friends, old and new, and getting to see what people are stitching on, just the camaraderie. Certainly don't get a lot of stitching done at retreats. Didn't win any raffles, didn't win any door prizes, didn't win anything really, but it's fine. I'm happy for some raffle ticket money to go towards charity, and just had a really lovely couple of days with my stitching community. And just people are so generous with their friendship and with sharing what they're working on and sharing things that they have in there don't need anymore. That's pretty much it. So I expect that the YouTube channel Neat and Not by the Sea will probably maybe do a more detailed review of the retreat. I kind of want to leave it to them because they helped organise it, / were on the committee to organise it. So that's Victoria and Catherine who took the ball by the horns, really, supported by a few other people, including the folks from Stitch Witches, especially Sue Lucas. But yeah, I mean, it was sort of their retreat, and I want to leave it to them to give a more thorough kind of overview of it. I didn't take any photos. I was, as I said to my friends, I was there in my personal capacity, not any professional capacity. Okay, so what did I stitch on last week? Since you last saw me anyway, I hadn't stitched on this for ages, but I picked up my Long Dog Sampler's Quinto Acuto, or the Pointed Fifth, which I started in November last year as part of my 50 at 50. It was start number 43. And this is on 36 count Edinburgh in Copper Beech by Country Stitch, using Silks for You. So I did add some more in. I have written down, I did write it down. So PR043, which is the charcoal grey, PR181, which is the variegated floss, and then I'm also using 4 or 5 of the Silks of the Month from January 22, which are solids but in complementary colours. So I haven't ironed anything because, they ain't happening today. Last time you saw this, I had stitched most of this here to get a look at all the colours. So these are the variegated, is going to be in these lozenges. And let me see if I get the light better. I'm trying to get good light but not have it directly in your face. And then in these windows, in the arches, I am using the solids, and each row will have a slightly lighter. So this is the darkest from that January 22 Silks of the Month. And so on the Sunday, Monday maybe, I stitched in here, finished off in here. So sort of from here this way I've stitched, and just started on the tummy of the whale there. So pretty much in these windows, all the animals will be in the colour, and then anything else, backstitch and any non-animals, including people, will be, I know people technically are animals, but for the purposes of this they're not, will be in the charcoal. And yeah, and down here is the variegated. Anyway, it was nice to do a little bit on that. I do enjoy stitching on that and should stitch on it more often, but I have too many projects and it's just how it is. Just adjusted the light, so hopefully it's a bit better. I don't know if it's better. I can't find the project card for this new start. It's probably in another project bag and I'm not looking for it. So on Friday morning, before Jacqueline came picked me up, I sat down with Fiona and I did New Start. I just grabbed something randomly out of my retirement savings box to have just a little extra start at retreat. And on Saturday evening or Saturday, I found out that everything I stitched on, almost everything I stitched on Friday morning, I had to frog because I'd made a mistake very early on, but isn't that the way? So it's it started on Friday, I can't remember what date that is, and it's Count the Cups, a petite red sampler by Amanda May McNaughton, also known as Ardith Designs. I also have Count the Sauces. They're both going to be stitched on 32 count country mocha with a Victorian motto sampler shop thread, very prim red. That's where I got to. So pretty much restitched everything that I had to frog, which was most of this and this and this, and I stitched a little bit extra. So yeah, very early start, but it's fun little project. I thought I would get more done, don't we all? But I did. Now my main start for the weekend, my retreat start, because this is I started on Saturday, is Colours of Autumn, De Farben des Herbstes from Historiche Stickmuster. And that is the digital mock-up there. And I was going to be stitching it on, I am stitching it on 35 count Zweigart with the called for AVAS Soie d'Argent. And I had all the called for silk, but a couple of the colours didn't ring true for me. And I'd been talking to Anne about that, and when she was down at Stitch Witches having a look, she came back and said, oh, I think I found a better orange for you. So I love these colours, but the orange and the brown were just not right. They weren't the same, you know, as the digital mock-up. So I have substituted two of the colours. So called for 2236 AVAS Soie d'Argent, and I've substituted it for 4614. You'll see the difference there. The called for is actually quite a sort of olivey colour, and I've gone more for this warm brown, which I think suits this better. It looks more like this mock-up. Similarly, the orange was called for 1753, and I have substituted it for 611A, and I'll show you that. So again, called for is this quite olivey greeny gold, and I've gone for this kind of light pumpkin-y colour, which I felt was more representative of these two colours in here. But yeah, so I didn't quite get to the orange I was hoping to, and I still have a thread in here because I had to pack up at 4 o'clock when the retreat ended. But I've got almost, well, maybe 2.5 of the blocks done. So the called for colours other than that's the brown as opposed to that darker olivey colour. So the light's terrible, I'm really sorry, but this is really lovely to stitch on. So yeah, I've started over here and I've got halfway through this sort of dark lavender box there. So yeah, I'll carry on across and I'm going to work the bottom row and then work my way up. With these designs, the gap between, sorry, my couch is squeaky. The gaps between each block is not stitched, but the white filigree is stitched, so that's probably not gonna, I mean, one strand of silk on 35 count linen is going to be lovely. It's not going to be like using DMC, but that'll be interesting, stitching all that white on white. But yeah, that's pretty much, that's it. That's my stitching for the week. So, you know, busy at work, hosting my friend Lauren, she had to be over here in Wellington for a couple of days, so she stayed with me Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and we didn't get a chance to, I didn't get a chance to stitch, so that's how it is. I've got quite a few things to show you, some kind of, you know, let's call it loosely haul and freebies and stuff, but I might just quickly put in here the video that I took last week. So Leigh from the past is gonna just quickly come in, say hi with the couple of FFOs that I finished prior to going to retreat, because I was giving them away as gifts. I didn't want them to be spoiled for those people who watch my videos. So yeah, here we go. Hey FLOSSTUBE from the future, it's Leigh, creatively from the past. Just following on from last week's video, I am just going to show you a couple more FFOs that I finished this last week, and they by now will have been gifted to the recipients. So let's just quickly crack onto it. They're both filled with walnut shell, and the first one was the little sky full of birds that I stitched from Blackbird Designs, which was a very brief sale / stitch start along, because I started and finished it that night, and a couple of other people, most of us finished it within a day or two. So yeah, this is on, I don't even know, I didn't write the, 32 count platinum linen from Zweigart using my own overdyed conversion. So it was a start and finish on the 21st of March, and then I fully finished it on Monday the 24th. And I'll show you the back first. Just a pretty little print that I had in my stash, and I added a little bit of vintagey looking cream cotton lace around it. Just did a really dodgy tuck on the corner. It's very handmade, which I think adds to the charm. And then just where I've joined I just put a little charm on. It just says made with love. So this I've given to Christine, who has kindly hosted me for the weekend, and I just thought it was a sweet little thing. I know she likes pink, and I thought hopefully she'll really like that. So yeah, thanks again, Christine, for being a friend, and I really appreciate your friendship. And then again, working through my list of stitchy buddies, and I love this finish. I'm going to stitch this again for myself and finish it very similarly, because it's adorable, and that's not being vain, I just think it's really lovely. And this was a secret stitch I did a few weeks ago. I didn't even show this, so it's the first time everyone's seen it. I stitched it started on the 13th of April, and I finished it on the 14th of April, and then I fully finished on the 24th of April. And I'm giving this to Zeb. Zeb, sort of like a belated birthday present, but I don't really do birthday presents. I just appreciate that she's shared stuff with me, and looking forward to seeing her. Would have seen her over the weekend. This is a free chart. It's available online if you look up Owl Cross Stitch Hanging by Shannon Waziliev. I don't know how to say it. It was in issue 246 of World of Cross Stitching. I did get it, I think, off of, I don't know where I got it. I'm not sure if I got it off Redley or whether I just found it, but I googled it, and it's available as free. And it's 32, I stitched it on 32 count vintage country mocha linen with anchor black. So that's it there. And it's called Owl Cross Stitch Hanging. I think they made it into a little hanging cushion. There's a little ribbon there, but I didn't. I just made it into a little stuffed cushion, mostly because I'm going to show you the back. I used the same fabric for the back, just the vintage Country Mocha, because I wanted to use this really messy eyelash, whatever this is, messy trim that I got from number 12 Stitch Co in Australia. And here's the front. I think it's adorable. It's so cute. It's just such a grumpy looking owl. It's like, why are these bats keeping me awake or something? Or maybe he doesn't want to, maybe he likes sleeping in, which would mean staying asleep at night. I don't know. So yeah, it's got a lot of back stitching. So it's, I used 2 strands for the crosses and 1 strand for back stitching. It's got lots of back stitching to make it really lacy. And then I just added this little owl charm that I have tons of on a little light bulb pin, just to add a little something into the corner. And it's stuffed this one a little more full than I have some of my other cushions, and I think it's adorable. So I'm going to stitch this again. This is was on a scrap of fabric. I don't have any more left. I do quite like it on the vintage Country Mocha, but I'll just find another scrap and stitch it for myself, because I have some more of this trim, and I think it's the finish is perfection. Man, it was a pain in the ass sewing this on. I hand sewed this on afterwards, and then I went around twice to make sure that I covered the seam most of the way pretty well. It's kind of, it was hard to make it messy. Like, it's sort of parts of it were messier than others, so I just did my best. I know, I like it. I think it's fantastic. So hopefully Seb enjoyed this as well, and I'm looking forward to working my way through my list of little gifts for friends. So yay. Thanks for this little interlude. I'll now send you back to Leigh from the future. Ciao. Okay, hopefully those videos worked out okay, because I haven't checked them, but yeah, really pleased to have given those wee gifts away. Okay, so we did get a little goodie bag from the retreat. Can't really show you some of it because I can show you part of it. I don't have a mock-up of it. There was a retreat piece, so this is part of the design. It says Dunedin, and it's a house on a steep street, which is mocked up from a photo of a house taken on Baldwin Street, the world's steepest street, which is in Dunedin. And it came kitted up with a piece of Aida, which I will stitch it one day, but I'll stitch it probably on linen. I don't want to stitch on 14 count Aida. The greys and blues, and then the door, we could choose the colour we want to stitch the door in. Sue from Stitch Witches had sort of 7 or 8 skeins of floss that we could pick a colour from. I picked this one, but it's probably not the right orange for me, so I'll probably just stitch it with something from my stash when I get around to stitching it. But I still have to stitch the Christchurch retreat piece, which is from 2021, so I probably should stitch that first. But yes, we're a little kit for a memento, which was nice. A couple of freebies, probably sponsored by DMC, that I'm not quite sure what I'll do with. Their magic paper, so you embroider over the designs, and then I guess wash the paper out. They're sort of charted for étoile and, you know, like embellish the pocket of a jeans or embellish a shirt, which I'm never going to do, but who knows. They may become giveaways in the future. Then there were a couple, sorry for the crystalline. There's a couple of DMC Fille Métallissée. It's got I think I've got this one. 4024 and 4033, so let's put on my metallics stash. Bookmark that was gifted from the guild, and a little tape measure with Dunedin stitching retreat on it, and just a few little clips and a little doofer for your, I can't remember what they're called, you know, that thing, cool, whatever, orange peel thing. Peel? Is it called a peel? And there was a chocolate bar, but I ate it. We did have a mystery exchange where we were to wrap up a mystery gift of some, sort of up to the value of $25. I talked about mine last week. I didn't have pictures of it, and I know that Jill knows I gave, she worked out who it was, and really Jill seemed to really enjoy my little gift, which I purchased new but on sales to keep the value under $25. A little notions pouch from Orderly Stitching with, I think it had tuies on it, and a little needle minder with a piwaka waka or a fantail on it, and I included a few things from my stash just to sort of make sure that I had, you know, hit that $25 value. A little piece of topor fabric from Country Stitch that I'd got at a previous retreat that I just wasn't going to stitch on because it's 28 count. So I gave that to her. Some DMC that kind of complemented the whole colour scheme of the thing. I had a 28 count John James gold plated needle in there in a little needle case. I think that might be it. And I did on the little card, right, you know, where I got everything from. My mystery gift are two cute little kits. So by the Zweigart kits, so Derwent Water Designs. Never heard of this brand. One's called, they're from the Habitats kit. One's called Clifftop, and one's called Heather Tarn. I'm just going to put them aside. I'm not sure if I'll stitch them. I probably wouldn't stitch them on the Ada. Mostly, it's not even about the fact that I wouldn't stitch on Ada. It's full coverage I would. But I prefer using, linen, but also the kits always have the linen, the Ada too small, and I struggle to stitch on small projects because of the way I stitch in hand and I hold everything. I need sort of more fabric to get my tension right. But anyway, I'm going to put them away in my stash for now, and I'll see. I do love the colours of that one, and I do love the, I do have a friend called Heather, and it's called Heather Tarn, and I'm like, maybe I'll stitch it in and give it to her. So a couple of other things that I got given. One was, actually this wasn't given, I purchased this, but I did buy this from Judith before she went away. She was just recently back from travel for work, but she had a couple of small notions pouches, and this was one of her Golden Girls fabric that she had, which I didn't buy a big bag, but she had this little pouch, and it's cute with the lavender zip pull. So I grabbed that. So it's got a multi sort of print, similar to the Grease fabric that I recently purchased a Grease bag from her, and it's so cute, and just a little palm tree charm. So Judith delivered that to me at retreat. She also, from her overseas travels, when she was over in the States for work, she managed to get her way over to the attic as a little treat for herself, and enjoyed several hours at the attic. And I didn't ask her for anything, but she picked up a piece of 36 count Edinburgh in the colour terracotta for me and gave that to me, which is really nice. So I have to find a lovely project for that, but I really appreciate that. So thanks, Judith. Zeb, who a lot of you know runs the New Zealand Cross Stitch Facebook group, chief moderator, she recently stitched this. In fact, still got some of her thread in it. Fractor, so she's loaned this to me because she knows I like the fractors. And hey, I don't have to name this one, so yeah, this is still her chart. I'll be giving this back to her, so I'll probably bring this up the priority order probably once I finish. Do I have a fractor on the go? I do. Once I finish the Kathy Barrick Pennsylvania fractors, I'll probably stitch this so I can get the chart back to her, and it's called Fractal Frida. I think I just said that, but yeah, it looks really amazing stitch, so I either want to stitch it on the called for fabric or I'll find something really similar, and I think I've got something similar in my stash. And she also had said, did I want to stitch this? Again, I'll be giving this back to her because I'm doing that Pennsylvania, I think it's called Pennsylvania Fractal Birds. I don't remember. There's this one. She said, had I seen it? I'm like, no. So she's lent this to me as well. Pennsylvania Fractal Heart. So again, that one will go higher in the priority. Judy, Judy, who is an Aussie in a Kiwi world on FLOSSTUBE up in Thames. Recently, she was doing a bit of going through her stash on a Zoom chat one night, and she was doing a bit of organising and sorting while we were stitching. A few of us were stitching, and she's been going through saying, oh, I've got these things. Does anyone want them? So she put aside a few things for me. To be fair, I couldn't really see what everything was. So I went, oh, well, that looks sort of interesting, you know, on Zoom, right? It's this big. So I said, you know, bring them down and I'll have a look and stuff. So the charts that she decided might suit me, one of them looked really intriguing. And it is definitely really interesting. It's called Okidifata, Fae Eyes, as in Fae, like fairy, F-A-E, by Laura Gabouti Latuada. I'm gonna butcher the crap out of that, I'm sure. And it's Sepia Colour Original Designs Collection. Never heard of them. It's on a sort of fuzzy paper, but it's a sort of, oh, that looks nice actually. Like, that actually is quite, me looking at the screen, I can see the image better than me looking at it like this. So it's just this soft sort of arty pair of eyes, really. What else is there to say? The chart is looks like it's from a pencil sketch. The chart is, holy shit. It's upside down. I'm going to show you part of it because you will not be able to do anything with it. And it's all in, it's a whole sort of thing in Italian that I'd have to, something about metallic. I'm going to show you part of the chart. What does it say? My dear, I would like to introduce you a very special exclusive new design line, the Sepia Colour. This line could be purchased on the official PR website and only at the trusted, well-known crosser shops around the world. All the designs belong to my sketches. I just said that, didn't I? Studies on the hands, the eyes, and all this that my fairies whisper to me. These are the ideal outlines for those who love the artistic design. I feel like this English isn't the first language, but that makes sense. Italian is not any of my language. They are authentic treasures, and you need to stitch them only with DMC Moulin, I don't even know how to say the DMC thread, and using a white off linen or Ada fabric. It's funny, you just stitch them only with, but it does make sense given the design. No beads or metallics, but only the uses, I'm reading it verbatim, only the uses of the colours in order to simulate the artistic design. I hope that this new line could be a new way to stimulate your fantasy and mentality. Hugs and kisses, Laura. I'm not sure that translates terribly well, but let me show you part of the design why I said holy shit, and you'll probably say the same. Holy shit, right? That sucker's going in the photocopy and it's been blowing up significantly because that is really hard to see. It's like, what the hell? I mean, it is being produced in 2010, so photocopies did exist, but boy, jingo, that's hard to see. Yeah, she'll be going to the photocopier, but I kind of really want to start it now after that inspiring speech. Let's have a look. Rustle, rustle. they actually, despite her saying only stitch it in GMC, there's also a key for Venus. No idea what that is. No idea what Venus is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19 colours in DMC. Thanks, Judy. I have no idea if or when I'll stitch that, but I do like it. It's a little bit different. It's very different. And the chart is actually quite big. It is actually ginormous. 358 by 167 is the stitch count. But there's a lot of empty space around it. Called for, it just says use 2 strands of thread, finish embroidery about 60 by 28 centimeters. I would have to do maths to work out what that would be. Oh, 30 count. It wouldn't be. I would not stitch it on 30 count, but it's called for on 30 count. Which I guess, yeah. Okay, great. Where should I put it? And she also included this one, which I couldn't really see because it was tiny, but it's a Carriage House sampling. It's called Faith. It's tiny. I'm not sure I would stitch it now that I can see it because it was a lot of frame. Or if I did, I would probably not call it Faith because it's a bit, you know, religious for me. I don't know. Might end up being a giveaway. I'm pretty sure she's fine for me to give this away. And then also Lynn, thank you Lynn, passed me on her physical copy, it's not a PDF, of the Blue Flower Moonlight Sunflower, which is something that I've been on my I should get list. But, you know, I have so much stuff that I just hadn't. And the only thing that I just don't think I can do is I don't think I can stitch the possum. I mean, possums are like a pest here in New Zealand. Now, a lot of these other animals we don't even have, which strangely I'm okay with. You know, we don't have foxes and we certainly don't have sloths. But no one would think a sloth was a pest. But possums just destroy our native environment, and they were introduced so they shouldn't have been. So I'm probably going to have to find something else to stitch there. And also possums are really, I know some of you think possums are great and you Australians love freaking possums. We hate them in New Zealand, and they're ugly. I don't, they're horrible. So I don't want, I'm going to do something else there. But I don't know what, but we'll sort it out. But I do love it, so thank you, Lynn. I do need to check with you whether this is on loan or it's then to be passed on. I don't know when I'm going to stitch it. It's going to be a while. But I do really love it, and I do want to do it on sort of a dark, smoky fabric. Maybe not that lavender, but it is all about what does it say? Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. So it's a nice little poem, which is, oh my God, Chris stitched this. Chris, you stitched the model. You stitched the models. Yay. Chris has been as a subscriber, and she's fabulous and has been very generous with her gifts to me, and I really appreciate her generosity and her kindness. And I didn't realize she stitched the models for this, so yay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I got distracted. What was I doing? Oh, I was wanting to see where the text came from. Okay, the text comes from the poem The Old Astronomer to His Pupil by Sarah Williams. I need to look that up. I don't know that poet at all. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. This video is going to be so long. Thank you very much, Lynn. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to stitching that at some stage and finding something to stitch instead of the possum, because it just freaks me out. What else? There's quite a lot, eh? Okay, freebie table. The freebie table was actually quite nice. Wasn't as overwhelming as other retreats. There was a good bunch of stuff on, and I think there's some really good quality stuff. So I must say I commend the Dunedin stitches for not using the freebie table necessarily as a place to put stuff that really should go to the trash. So I appreciate that. Very early on, I had barely got myself together, and Julia found a piece of linen that she thought I would like, and she was correct. So she picked this up for me because I didn't get to the freebie table for ages. It's a picture this plus fabric, looks like a fat quarter unless it's been cut into. No, it's a fat quarter. 40 count Heritage Newcastle. So that is wonderful. So thank you very much, Julia, for picking that up off the freebie table for me. And I don't know who put it on there, but you are awesome. So I will make use of that for sure. I grabbed quite a few things off the freebie table. Some of them were just because I really want to have a look through them at my leisure. And I went back like maybe 3 times over the weekend. So I didn't just like, you know, go and take everything. But there were a few things that were sitting there, and yeah, I'll quickly go through them. It won't be quick, but you know. I do enjoy... Oh, I didn't realise there were 2. I just turned it over. I picked up a bear pattern recently from the Mana Workday, Embroidery Guild Workday, and I don't know. I've made bears in the past, and I see myself making bears again in the future, so I picked up another couple of bear patterns that have been sitting there. And so Scamp, which is from D Glossip Teddy Bears, and a Row Bears Rastus, and this is Row Bears from Australia. So I just didn't even, I saw this and grabbed it. I didn't even realise there were 2 in the packet. Will I make bears again? I don't know, but I, you know, every now and then I get a hankering for doing something random, and maybe it would be making a bear. Then Zeb saw this on the table for me and thought I might like it, and I do like it. Will I stitch it? I don't know, but it was sitting there for a little while. It's a French, who's it by? It's got all sorts of scanned and it's called something that I'm going to butcher the crap out of. AVAS Soie positif. So that's something about tree with birds, posing birds or something like that. It's my best guess without even looking at it. Oh, and it was stitched with Vicky Clayton silks on, needed 3 skeins or spools in the colour wine. I can read that much. It's a Mon Ami Pierre design. I pretend like I can understand a little bit of French, but you can, context helps. It's quite cool, so maybe, I don't know, it was there and I grabbed it. There's a cute little chart from The Good Housewife, and I think it's called Thy Houses and Thy Barns. It's got a tiny little picture. It's just sort of a primitive little sampler. I don't even know if it's a reproduction. The model was stitched on 36 count coffee dyed linen. Colonial Gardening Sampler number 5. It's in DMC. There are other samplers in the series. What does it say? Thy houses and barns would be looked upon, and all things amended ere harvest come. Ere harvest come on. Things thus set in order, in quiet and rest, shall further thy harvest and pleasure thee best. It's cute. It's like, it looks like the dude's got no shirt on. I don't know if he has got no shirt on, but good on him for having no shirt on. He's been working hard. It's hard to see with the light, I'm sorry. Anyway, it was kind of cute. I grabbed this. I might already have this. Did I pick this up at Mana Retreat for $1 or $2? I'm not sure. I have to go and have a look. I did pick up at Ink Circles. This is a, it's not again, not a PDF. It's got a lovely bit of card. If I do have this, I'll offer it up as a giveaway. What else did I pick up? Again, I went back several times. This was kind of cute. It's probably a little bit, probably not, I probably won't stitch this. I might give it away. But it's the Garden Sampler by Ramsgate Limited. It's probably a little bit too simple and basic for me. It's all DMC, and model was stitched on 26 count natural linen from Witchelt, and it's cute, but I kind of like little bits of it, so maybe it's an opportunity to change it. Yeah, anyway, that's cute. I like, it's a chart, I like this one. It's quite cool. I like it sort of as is. I do not love the horses, so no. It's got some nice alphabets, so yay for alphabets. This one's kind of cute. It has a lion, I think, at the top. I'm not sure if that's a lion or not. But again, even just for the alphabets, it's kind of fun to have. The Industrious Bee Sampler, and I love the flowers. It's by Theron Tradition Counter Cross Stitch Embroidery. It's quite fun. I quite like it. It says, it's really hard to read some of this tiny writing. Let's see if it's written on the inside in a legible. Oh yeah, it's easy to read on the inside. The industrious bee extracts from every flower its fragrant sweets and mild balsamic power. It's kind of random. Learn thence with greatest care and nicest skill to take the good and to reject the ill. I quite like it. I actually quite like that. I think that's quite cool for a, original sampler from way back in, what year was it? 1992. Oh, it was a good year. I was 20 years old. Okay, I picked up these. I have stitched these and I sold them. And then I regretted selling them. But I sold them because I don't like pastel pink and pastel blue. So gather ye rosebuds while you may, from the Hesperides by, I should know the poem. Hesperides to the Virgins to make much of time, stanza 1, written by Robert, I knew it was Robert someone, Eric, first published in 1648. So when I stitched these back in the day on Ada and using the called for, although I remember that there were differences in the frame, which really annoyed me, so I actually stitched the frame according to the same design twice. So yeah, you got to, and there's a lot of back stitching. And they were beautiful, but I hated the colours. As in, no, I didn't hate the colours. The colours, I would never put these up. I want to stitch them again, but I want to change the colours to colours that are less pink and blue. And they were there, and I was like, well, that's a sign to say you need to stitch them. So thank you to whoever dropped these off. I saw one of them and I was like, oh, damn it. And then I went through and it was like 5 charts down. I was like, OMG. So having stitched these before, I now want to stitch them on linen, and I want to stitch them with, I want to change the colours and make them a little bit more for me, and who knows when, but I don't know. Yeah, back then, I don't know, you could change colours. That was, I stitched them when I was like in my mid-20s, so we're talking about 25-ish years ago. When did they get released? And I did have photos of a whole lot of stuff that I finished and then stitched and sold, and then I lost the photos. So I have a whole lot of stuff that I don't have evidence that I stitched, and it makes me a bit annoyed. But that's how it is. When you delete, you format your hard drive thinking you had saved the photos onto disk and you hadn't. Now they would be in the cloud and it wouldn't be an issue, but you know, this was when the cloud wasn't a thing. I can't even see what year these were published. And I do get a bit concerned that it says leaflet 2 and leaflet 3. What was leaflet 1? I never saw it. If there's a leaflet 1 out there, let me know. I want it if it's a set. I don't know what year it was published. Anyway, next, because we're now up to 53 minutes. I picked up ink circles. I haven't even checked whether this, all the charts there, I presume it is. This is Cirque de Coeur. I have Cirque de Cirque, and I haven't stitched it yet. One day I want to stitch all 4. So there's, so I've got the circles, this is the hearts, and there's triangles and another one. Another thing that loaned to me, Jude, because remember I know all the Judes, Judies and Judiths, she finished stitching the back part of this biscuit. She had already done the front, and she had the charms and stuff, so I have to source them. But I love it, even though I don't usually do, you know, sometimes you just love things even though they're not your normal style. So when Barnaby met Bella, this biscuit, and it's so cute. It was really pretty. So she stitched it on an even weave fabric, and I said, oh, can I borrow that when you're finished? So she finished stitching this and then tossed it to me and said, there you go. She hasn't sewn it together, but she's done most of the work on it. So again, really cute. So I'm quite intrigued to give that a go one day, and then I'll pass it back to her. A couple more things to show you. It's all about the haul, isn't it, this week? There was a few people selling a few things, and on behalf of Kath, I think, a bunch of Jodoree threads were being sold. And do I need them? No. Do I know what I'm going to do with them? No. Are they pretty? Yes. So I just picked up 7 Jodoree threads because they were pretty. And they'll go into the tin with my other Jodoree threads that I bought when Julia was destashing. But yeah, this one was called Lionfish. Lionfish? Yep, Lionfish. Lionfish. Tom and Jerry. Autumn Hues. That's beautiful. Guess why I picked that one. Eggy bread. That's what I had for dinner. Egg on toast. Bee eater. Zen garden. I need a Zen garden right now because I'm knackered. I need a rest. And smoke and mirrors. So 7 of those. And last but not least, I think, from this pile here, just before I left, Fiona mentioned she'd bought a whole lot of fabric during lockdown from Country Stitch, but she bought it in 40 count and it's just not her cup of tea. I am going to send her some fabric in a count that she would like, but she just passed these on to me, and I will definitely be sending her some fabric back. Just some lovely Country Stitch fabrics, and they are all 40 count parchment. They're all some of my favorites. Merino, one of my favorites. This was a smaller cut, I think, of parchment and toy. And you'll be, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I have stitched on all of these colours at some stage in the past. So thank you very much, Fiona. That's really lovely. They have gone to a good home. Look how lovely they look together. and it's always good to have some lovely neutrals, and I do love some 40 count. So yeah, we'll see about returning the favour sometime in the future. That's it. When I say that's it, it's very hauly, wasn't it? But a lot of it, things from the freebie table, some things will be passed on probably sooner than later, and other things that will just go in my stash to be kitted up in the future and worked with. Thanks again to the people who organised the Dunedin retreat. It was fantastic to have the opportunity to get away for the weekend and just spend time with people who share the passion for stabbing fabric with a needle thousands of times to create beautiful and personal objects, bring us joy, keep us from getting too overwhelmed, manage our mental health and stuff. Here's two great friends who are both generous and kind. I'm going to wrap this up. It's going to take ages to edit. It's going to take ages to upload. And hopefully next week we will be back to our regularly scheduled program. Take care. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.